He was elected leader of Plaid Cymru in 2018, and we're delighted that he joins us from his home in Carmarthen. Good afternoon.
Friends, Carajan, Gyfeillion. I can't see you, I can't embrace you, we can't chew the fat or sing karaoke, but as people and parties, we've never felt closer. From the solemnity of the COVID storm has come a determination which has united our nations and a resolve to rebuild. In this, the season of reflection and preparation, we look back at lost times and lost loved ones, but also forward to strengthening new bonds and embracing a new beginning. Our virtual world has exposed a new reality. The small things in life became the big picture, while health and wealth collided like never before. COVID has crossed continents, exposed excess, entrenched inequality, and laid bare the fragility of our being. It has struck everywhere, but how governments have struck back will be the defining issue of our time. Your government has done just that, striking back with the consistency and conviction envied by many across the world under the outstanding leadership of your First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon. Nicola's grace and gravitas, a rare quality of moving seamlessly between that steely gaze and glowing smile, has shone a light on the darkest of days. Meanwhile, in Downing Street, the pandemic has exposed the worst excesses of Westminster rule: dubious PPE contracts, a calamitous testing regime, and a Tory chumocracy which is growing by the day. In Wales, they stole our tests. In Scotland too, they denied furlough. And now they're aiming fire at devolution itself. When it comes to Boris Johnson, with every word, his reputation wanes. The only disaster is the Prime Minister himself, the greatest recruiting agent independence ever had. Make no mistake, at this rate, the crumbling palaces of Westminster will outlast the Union itself. With any luck, we won't have to pay for the refurbishment. The challenge now for our nations is not to be footnotes in someone else's history, but the authors of our own. How do we guarantee people opportunity in youth and dignity in old age? How do we create a greener, kinder economy which preserves our planet for future generations? Now that the clapping has stopped, how do we take care of our carers? The devolution dividend will only take us so far. The real answer to all these questions is independence. Today we may be physically apart, but we've travelled far since we last met. Support for Welsh independence is at an all-time high. Polling shows that 72% of people in Wales don't trust Westminster. 59% want Devo Max. The right to govern ourselves, so long discounted in our discourse and derided as a pipe dream, has moved from the margins to the mainstream. People are joining Yes Cymru quicker than David Marshall's reflexes, and with as much delight as those conga celebrations. I've never needed much encouragement to visit Scotland and march to its indie tune. At times I felt like a Sherpa helping the climbers, willing them on, but no more. Our common goal now shares a common time frame. The Welsh awakening is catching up with the Scottish surge. But the higher up the mountain we climb, the harder we must work, though every step we take now brings us closer to that final ascent. That's why 12 months ago I commissioned the most detailed work ever published on Welsh independence. I will be responding formally to the Independence Commission's report before Christmas, but the wider independence movement owes a debt of gratitude to its members under the chairpersonship of Plaid Cymru's former parliamentary leader, Elfyn Llwyd, for their diligent work. As befits an arm's-length commission, it asks some searching questions and has undertaken extensive analysis as we consider a clear pathway towards the independence we need as a nation. And we need independence now more than ever. The Chancellor's reward for the sacrifice and struggle of public sector workers is the poison pill of a public pay freeze. Where they build back bitter, we have a blueprint for our countries, not just to be equal nations alongside all others, but nations of equals, fair and free, where freedom is the key to the flourishing of all. Now, we know we can't zoom our way towards independence without building teams to make it work. That's why my party is undertaking its most wide-ranging consultation ever on independence. We will draw on expertise from within the Commission to engage with our members and hold a historic special conference in the new year, keeping true to the old adage that there is no I in Wales, but there is a we. And we, Scotland and Wales, are on this journey together, which is why my first official phone call as the first pro-independence First Minister of Wales next May will be to your First Minister. We can further cement and enhance our relationship in the Indie Summer of 21 by coming together, all under one banner, in a Celtic Summit to map out our common aims and purpose as independence and mutual cooperation becomes the new normal. First, we, like you, have an election to win. Over the coming months, Plaid Cymru will be making the case that changing Wales for good will only come about through a change of government. We will fight the election on the most radical and transformational prospectus seen since devolution, and we will re-energise a laboured managerial machine. And giving the people of Wales the right to decide on their future as a nation will be central to our plans. Let no one be in any doubt that I will lead a team and a party clear in its aims, united in its goal, committed to holding and winning an independence referendum as soon as we can. It is this common cause which is the bedrock of the bond between our sister parties ever since Winnie Ewing's seminal victory in Hamilton was cheered on in Westminster by that crowd of at least 200 Welsh supporters with our first MP, Gwynfor Evans, at her side. Just like those hundreds of Welsh campaigners who campaigned for Scotland in 2014. On the day itself, I was in Murrayfield, and I've never yearned there for a Scottish victory before. But it's canvassing a Glasgow tenement that I will never forget, and a gentleman in his 80s climbing 4 flights of stairs, gasping for air because he wanted to say thank you. But it's you we should be thanking, because the Scotland you are creating is an inspiration to us all. And that's why, when our independence comes, then you are all invited. And I ask you not just to join us then, but to join us now. Many in Plaid Cymru have become members of the SNP in recent years, and I'm one of them, inspired by the energy and hope exuding from the Yes campaign. By joining Plaid Cymru in return, you can help us ensure that not just one, but 2 sister nations will very soon win their freedom and join the global family of independent countries. Just like Winnie and Gwynfor showed, we have taken it in turn to stand on each other's shoulders, but this is a fight we will win together. And win it we must. For the hill farmer in the Highlands and the steel worker in Port Talbot, for the fisherman in Fraserburgh and the haulage firm in Holyhead. These are the ones that must be protected from the perils of a Westminster government hell-bent on a reckless Brexit at any cost. As our workforce face being tariffed to oblivion and our governments bypassed by the power-grabbing UK Parliament, we say no more. No more deceit, no more disrespect, no more dodgy deals devised by Dom or anyone else. Our time has come to forge our own union, a Celtic union, as inclusive, outward and forward-looking, our patriotism based on the progress of all of our people. Now that's a union worth joining. See you soon, Scotland, and stay safe.